IAAF World Indoor Tour. Shalane Oskar-Clark is notoriously hard to get past if she gets herself to the front. Lindsay Sharp knows that for sure, and she is shadowing Oskar-Clark. The very early stages. Also, Valvera of Latvia and Alemu knows that she needs to stick pretty close to Oskar-Clark as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether Valvera put herself there because she wanted to, or she's just got herself in that position. Shalane Oskar-Clark just sitting on her shoulder. Alemu will know Shalane Oskar-Clark. She'll know that she can't give her too much of an advantage. And just as I say that, she passes her 29 seconds for the first 200 metres. It's average. It's not too fast. It's not too slow. I don't think we're going to see an amazing time. But the girls are settled between. Valvera seems to have adopted now. In second position, Oskar-Clark third, Sharp following, and the strong finish in Inui in fifth position.
We shouldn't forget that Alemu, of course, beat Laura Muir in the opening meeting of this tour over the 800-metre distance as well in Karlsruhe. So it's Valvera as they come through the halfway point in 59.16 from Alemu, Oskar-Clark and Sharp.
Yeah, 30 seconds for that second 200 metres, so 29, followed by a 30. I'm expecting Alemu at some point to take the lead. I think it'll be in the next 100 metres or so. Shalane Oskar-Clark is just tracking Alemu. She knows not to give her too much space, and I really think this title will be decided between Alemu and Shalane Oskar-Clark in this next 200-metre circuit. Well,
just 4 days ago, Shalane Oskar-Clark won in Birmingham. Can she repeat a similar performance here as Alemu now has seen enough and strikes the front? Now Oskar-Clark is going to have to do it from behind here if she wants to get involved in this. It's Habitu Alemu of Ethiopia, who with 200 metres to go is striding out towards the IAAF World Indoor title. But now Oskar-Clark is battling on. Valvera in second, though, is proving hard to pass at the moment. Sharp in fourth, also closing. Oskar-Clark now with less than 100 metres still to go. Alemu extending already sub 2 minutes twice this year. It's going to be too much for Oskar-Clark to do down the home straight. An impressive performance from the Ethiopian Habitu Alemu, just outside 2 minutes, but it's job done. She is the 800 metres IAAF World Indoor Tour title winner.
Yeah, she ran it incredibly well, didn't she? Valvera almost acted like a pacemaker, and actually she ran incredibly well herself. But Alemu is a 1:56.7 second 800-metre runner outdoors. She's a sub-15, 4-minute 1500-metre athlete as well. She really is the quality of that race, and you know, I did expect her to maybe take the title. Shalane Oskar-Clark gave her a really good run, but just the strength, that 1500-metre strength, paid off on that last 200-metre circuit.
2 minutes, 0.70, the confirmed winning time for Habitam Alemu, who won in Torun, and has her second victory here as we see a repeat of the last lap. Now Oskar-Clark at the bell found herself 2 metres down, and Valvera, I mean, she ran a good race for a long way.
She did. She, you know, really battled with Shalane Oskar-Clark down that back straight. She held her home for 700 metres. She's a 400-metre hurdler, more known outdoors. Shalane Oskar-Clark just gave Alemu a little bit too much, you know, respect there maybe, but Alemu, nothing to be taken away from her. She was running away with all from it, you know, the last 50 metres, and the race was really on behind her. Shalane Oskar-Clark driving all the way to the line to get that second position, and Sophia Inui, actually, the Polish athlete, amazing over cross country. She's great over 1500 metres. She came through really, really fast towards the end of that race as well.
So Alemu took it 2 minutes, 0.70. Oskar-Clark 2:02.25 in second. Valvera held on for third, 2:02.28. And Inui 2:02.39 with that fast finish that Jenny Meadows refers to. So it's an Ethiopian win in the women's 8 rather, the men's 15 to come, as we see a clearance in the high jump for Zbilko. In the background there, that's his first attempt at 2 metres 20. Confirmation of those results, and a PB. We said that Akers down the end would benefit from the experience there, and she broke 2:07 for the first time, and that's how things ended up on the World Indoor Tour. Overall, Alemu with that wild card to the World Indoors and $20,000. Here's the high jump man of the moment, Naoto Tobei of Japan. This is 2 metres 20, first attempt.
Yeah, just knocked it off there, didn't he? It looked like he had the height, and it's one of those where sometimes that would stay on. You know, he was getting off the mat and he almost looked back and he just saw that it had just fallen. So yeah, I've seen those stay on before, but yeah, unfortunately, first time, didn't clear that first time. Have to go again.
So on the track, we still have the men's 1500 metres to come, by the way. That's due off in the next few minutes. Athletes will be out shortly, but men's 60-metre hurdles final will follow the high jump, by the way, at the conclusion of the high jump. This is Falk Vendrich, second attempt. 2 metres 20 for the German, and he's over. So again, looking to use that to propel himself potentially towards a new lifetime best performance. So 2 track events left, 2 eagerly awaited finals. Remember, the men's 60-metre hurdles tour title is already decided to Jarrett Eaton. He's already received his flowers and his medal. Probably not received his $20,000 yet, but there's a big pot of cash underneath the stand somewhere, but I don't think there is. As we see the crowd then, the 1,500 metres though really is what a lot of people have come to see this evening. Can it be an Ethiopian double with Tefera? Now then, Noto Tobe, 2 meters 20. Second attempt here. Not used to failing too many bars at this sort of height in the form he's been in this winter. Oh, 2 failures for Tobe at 2:20. Gave him the big build up. Hope he's not going to leave us with egg on our face. Even
the mascot's disappointed in the background, can you see?
I saw the double teapot on for the mascot there, the PSD Bank mascot. So Tobe, one more attempt at 2:20. It's time on the track for the men's 1,500 metres. That is how it stands. We have Bergen here, we have Tefera here, we have Vincent Kibet here as well, all to play for. Well, of course, at the weekend, Samuel Tefera, 3:31.04, breaking that 22-year-old record from Hisham El Garouj. With this performance, he saw off Kejelcha, who many people thought might be the man to break the world record. It was Tefera who took it. He didn't quite realise it. It was a scintillating performance from Tefera. Today he's got this man up against him, Jakob Ingebrigtsen. 2 teenagers going head-to-head.
I feel okay. My shape's good and training's been going really well. And I'm more prepared for this race than I was for my season opener a couple of weeks ago. So I'm looking forward to the race today and we'll see how fast I can do.
So some thoughts there from Jakob Ingebrigtsen speaking at the race hotel a little bit earlier on. Tobe clear, by the way, in the high jump, 3rd attempt, so his competition's still alive at 2:20. As we meet the athletes then for this men's 1,500 metres. 2 pacemakers here. That's the first of them coming out. Adam Szywiński, the Polish athlete, 30 years of age. This is the other one, the pacemaker, if you like, Bram Som, the Dutchman, 39 years old today. He's already paced 2 world records in the last 4 or 5 days, Bram Som. Drawn 1, this is Jan Frisch, 4 times the national champion of the Czech Republic, including recently in the 3,000 metres. Drawn 2, Ismail Debrani, European Championship finalist last year. Broken 3:40 for the first time this year over 1,500 metres. Drawn 3, Sam Parsons, who has dual nationality. USA on the caption there. He's actually in the German team for the European Indoor Championships coming up. He has a German mother. Vincent Kibet, not in the hunt for the overall tour title, but he could throw a spanner in the works if he performs to his best here. Drawn 4. The first of the Ingebrigtsens. This is the middle of the 3 brothers. Philip Ingebrigtsen, the World Championship bronze medalist in 2017. European champion in 2016. A recent PB over 3,000 metres. And then his teenage brother, the 18-year-old double European champion from Berlin, 1,500 and 5,000 metres. Officially the fastest under 20 in the world, with a run of 3:36.21, Jakob Ingebrigtsen. This is the man currently at the top of the standings, Bethel Bergen of Kenya, the defending World Indoor Tour champion as well. He's officially the man they've got to get past to take the title, at least in the case of this man, the new World Indoor record holder with that time of 3:31.04, Samuel Tefera, Ethiopia. Can he possibly replicate anything like that just 4 days on from such an impressive performance? Stacked field, our penultimate track event. There's the full list. We're buzzing for this one, Jenny Meadows.
Yeah, it's the highlight of the evening, isn't it? To see what Tefera did just 4 days ago in Birmingham. You know, that race was set up for Kejelcha and he almost just shadowed him, you know, almost got a double draft, the pacemaker plus Kejelcha, and he just, you know, really struck on the back straight and you know, stole the world record away from Ciesielka. So really looking forward to seeing what he can do here this evening.
So reminder in the high jump, which we'll keep an eye on, Tobey clear, third attempt at 220, bar's gone up to 225. So then, Bram Som, the pacemaker, on the outside, a professional pacemaker. He's been doing it since 2013. He paced Tefera to that world record in Birmingham at the weekend. Then on Sunday, he paced the new 5-kilometre road world record for Julien Wonders in Monaco. He went on to complete the 5K race himself, did Bram Som, and here he is 4 days later on his 39th birthday with the new world record holder alongside him. Fascinating clash. Tefera 19, Jakob Ingebrigtsen 18. 7.5 laps of the track. We should mention Bethel Bergen, who's clearly trying to get himself off the inside in the very early stages. He's the one, remember, who leads the standings. If he wins the race, he takes the title. But Bram Som leading them out in the very early stages, and Tefera sticking pretty close by Jakob Ingebrigtsen at the moment, about 3 from the back.
Yeah, looking at what they asked the pacemakers to do, I think we should know that I don't think they're going for the world record pace. The pace that they've asked is a little bit slower than what we saw in Birmingham at the weekend. That said, it's very, very respectable. It could get Jakob Ingebrigtsen a new world junior record. They're looking for about 56.5 seconds at 400 metres, 154 at 8 and 223 at 1,000 metres, which would bring them in 2 to 3 seconds slower than what we saw them run in Birmingham.
So the two pacemakers at the front of the field. Bram Som from Adam Szywiński. Then comes Tefera just in behind them as they make their way down the back straight. It's Vincent Kibet in fourth, then Philip Ingebrigtsen, then Bethel Bergen, then Jakob Ingebrigtsen. And those 5 at the moment tracking in behind the two pacemakers as they come round. And this time they will see 5 laps to go, just completing 500 metres.
Yeah, Bram Som's done his job correctly, 56.1 seconds, just a little bit faster than asked. Really good to see Tefera, though, on the back of the two pacemakers here. He's actually just showing, you know, playing his cards out. He's trying to win this race. He's actually trying to run a decent time at the same time. Really, really interesting to see how this field is strung out so quickly.
Well, Tefera is unbeaten indoors in 6 races in his career. He actually lost his most recent race to Jakob Ingebrigtsen. That was in Tampere last year in the World Under-20 Championships when Tefera only finished 5th. Jakob Ingebrigtsen finished 2nd behind George Manengoy. They go through with 800 metres remaining. Bram Som will step aside now and Szywiński will be left with the pacemaking duties, but Tefera is right on his shoulder. It's Kibet in 3rd place, then Philip Ingebrigtsen, followed by Jakob, and Bethel Bergen, remember, has to win to guarantee the indoor tour title.
Yeah, I think Tefera's come here with a game plan to run quick. He knows he can run faster than anybody else, not just in this race, but in history. And he really is hanging on the back of the second pacemaker now. He will be aware of the Ingebrigtsen, of Jakob and of Philip. And Jakob actually beat him, as you said, Chris, in Tampere at the World Juniors last year. So if it was a close run race and more of a tactical race, maybe Tefera, you know, he is the fastest guy in history. Maybe he doesn't fancy himself in a tactical race. But here we are now, just coming up with 2 laps to go.
So the pacemakers are gone, and now it's down to the superstars to fight it out, and they're 1 and 2 at the moment. The 2 fastest teenagers in the world over 1,500 metres. Samuel Tefera leads from Jakob Ingebrigtsen. Philip Ingebrigtsen's in 3rd. Bethel Bergen in 4th. The Tefera win guarantees him the tour title. Don't forget, as they go down the back straight, these 3 have gone away slightly. Tefera with that hard race in his legs from 4 days ago. Jakob Ingebrigtsen relatively fresh from a training stint in South Africa and a good run in his domestic Norwegian competitions as well, and Jakob Ingebrigtsen starts to close on Tefera as they come down to take the bell.
The confidence on Jakob Ingebrigtsen here, just 18 years of old, on the shoulder of the new world indoor record holder. And this race is not, you know, not going to go, it's going to go down to all the way to the wire, sorry. Tefera is just holding on, and Jakob Ingebrigtsen with 100 metres to go.
So Jakob Ingebrigtsen moves to within striking distance of the world indoor record holder. He moves out into lane 2 to strike down the outside. The power of Ingebrigtsen, the pace of Tefera, and it's the Norwegian who will come out on top. Jakob Ingebrigtsen, 3:36.02. It's a meeting record for the Norwegian. It is also a new world junior record as well. 3:36.02 for the 18-year-old, and Jakob Ingebrigtsen carves his name yet again into the history books.
Chris, I was literally lost for words on that last lap. I was just watching, Jakob Ingebrigtsen, and, he would have watched the race in Birmingham at the weekend, and I read a quote by him, and people said, are you worried about what time, Tefera's ran? And he said, well, no, because it was a similar time to what the world record was anyway. It was just 1400s faster, and that's the goal that I've got. That's the time I've had in my head. So it definitely shows that, he's looking for world records in his career as well, and what a great tactician.
Confirmation, it's a variety of things for Jakob Ingebrigtsen, but it actually beats the previous best time set by Tefera, which was actually ratified of 3:36.05. Jakob Ingebrigtsen's previous best was 3:36.21 over this distance. That was still waiting to be ratified as a World Under-20 record, but 3:36.02 rounded down for Jakob Ingebrigtsen. It's obviously a Norwegian record as well, as amongst a whole host of other things. A lifetime best for Philip Ingebrigtsen, we should say, as well over 1,500 metres as well, as he finished in 3:38.62. And Tefera running, 5.3 seconds slower than Wednesday. Of course, today wasn't necessarily all about the time. It was about the win, and where Tefera struck past Kjeldje in Birmingham, Jakob Ingebrigtsen pretty much almost the same spot here, although once it came out of the home straight, you did really feel it was probably only going to be one winner.
Yeah, you did. I think, Tefera basically managed to just not hold him off at the end. I think definitely, that's 2 wins that Jakob's got over Tefera in the last 2 races. That was World Junior Championships. Tefera finished in 5th position, even though he's the World Indoor Champion. Jakob Ingebrigtsen, 18 years of age. He's the best of the 3 brothers now, and it was so nice to see Philip, celebrating with him, patting him on the back, and just what a future this kid's got.
Well, how comfortable you look in his facials there at the end. I mean, he's just out-sprinted the new World Indoor record holder. He's just set a new World Under-20 record as well, and he just looks like he could go around again.
He does. I think he actually expected to. I think Tefera came here with pressure. He had to win. Everyone's been talking about him the last few days. He went into the Birmingham meeting, definitely the underdog. Kjeldje was the one who had everyone, expecting things of him, and what a great race.
So let's wrap that all up then. Jakob Ingebrigtsen, the NR you can see there is the national record, but of course the fastest time by an under-20 athlete over 1,500 metres, running faster than Tefera did last year when he was still an under-20. Tefera 3:36.34, Philip Ingebrigtsen there in Bethelbergen down the field in 6th place overall. This is what it's done to the overall standings. Tefera, he might not have won tonight, but he has, by virtue of having a 3-point bonus from his win at Birmingham from that world record as well, he has taken the overall title. So some consolation for Tefera, but it's been a pretty handy few days for him. But Ingebrigtsen with the bragging rights this time around. So they're getting excited in the high jump here. 3rd attempt for Vendrich coming up of Germany in the arena, which he's just failed, unfortunately. 2:25, but Jakob Ingebrigtsen, again, a bit like the 400 where it came down to Maslach against Strother in the home straight, side by side. It was great to see, I guess, from the drama point of view and how it was all scripted, that it would be Tefera and Jakob Ingebrigtsen side by side as they swung for home.
Yeah, that race promised so much, didn't it? And it definitely delivered. The crowd are really enjoying this. He's just such a championship racer. When it comes down to, running for a time, obviously we know what, Tefera can do, but what a great race it was, and that's what we wanted to see here this evening.
Donald Thomas crashes out of the high jump, 3 failures at 2 metres and 25, so just the clearance at 2:20 on his record has him in 7th place. The leader at the moment with a clean sheet is Puerto Rico's Luis Castro with the Jazzy gear. He has 4 successive clearances, as Thomas certainly wasn't close to clearing that. He is the 2nd man to exit the competition. We've also lost Vendrich with 3 failures at 2:25, but everybody else has cleared 2:25. Tobey, 2nd time of asking. Wang, 3 successive clearances. Jabilko, 4 successive clearances. Castro, 4 successive clearances, this man. And at the moment, he shares the lead with Wang and with Jabilko. And the bar's gone up to 2 metres and 28, which for Castro would be a new indoor lifetime best. He's only jumped 2:26 previously. But the way he's sailed over 4 so far, you would bet against him setting himself a new lifetime indoor best here, the man from Puerto Rico. You can actually hear him shouting "Come on" through our headphones in the arena here across he's probably, I don't know, 70 or 80 metres away from us, but you can hear him in real time here through our noise-cancelling headphones shouting "Come on" to the crowd as Castro Rivera of Puerto Rico challenges a new lifetime best of 2:28. Not this time, 2 more. Rivera of Mexico to go next. Who again has been on a little bit of a European tour himself. He's had a couple of 3 meetings, in fact, in the Czech Republic, best of which saw him produce 2.27 meters, as we see a whole host away from that. Was he Castro Rivero? Got his shoulders and back over it, just clipped it with his hamstrings as he came over. Not sure what that international tic-tac sign there is for high jump.
And he was waiting, actually. He was waiting. He was watching the screen. He wanted to actually see the playback. He wanted to get some instant, you know, recognition of what he'd done wrong in that jump. So, you know, he kind of nodded his head, saw what he'd done wrong, and got 2 more attempts as he makes his way back.
High jump is centre stage at the moment, apart from the 60 hurdles final, which can't start until this is finished. Everything else is done and dusted. So Rivera of Mexico stuttered on his run up there and never really looked like he was going to get over that, and didn't.
Yeah, he took off quite a way before the bar, and yeah, wasn't the best of attempts. He just goes over to get a little bit of feedback from his coach.
So Rivera, 2.28 first time failure. I haven't had a chance to see too much of Wang live so far, the Asian champion, who finished 6th at the World Indoor Championships in Birmingham last year. Again, the World Indoors are in his native China next year, so he would love to be a part of that, I'm sure. He's taking on here 2.28 meters for the first time. Wang. Nope. 2.31 he cleared in Karlsruhe, which, as we said, would often be enough to win, but he caught Tobey on a good day.
Yeah, he did. He's cleared 2.30 and 2.31 so far during this indoor season in 2019. But he'll have to take another attempt at 2.28 here.
So, Jabilko of Germany, clean sheet so far, 2.28, European champion. 2.26 at the weekend to take the German title on countback. Most of the 1,500 crowd here inside the Arena Sport Park Hall in Dusseldorf, behind the man from Leverkusen. Jabilko, 2.28, first time. Work to do there for him. That's his first failure of the competition. And again, the way the things have panned out, I know an unscheduled delay in terms of the hurdles with that those disqualifications earlier on, but it does give literally centre stage to these field events. Yeah,
and it's great for them, isn't it? You know, we've only got 7 competitors in this event. 2.28 though, this really seems to be the bar that's finding a lot of these competitors out.
Well, you might be able to see behind Tobey that the presentation podium has gone for now, which means that the 60-meter hurdles won't be too far away. It will be happening, the final, after this high jump has been completed. This is Naoto Tobey, already the tour champion. 2.28 meters. His first attempt, no one clear yet. Oh, that wasn't far away from Tobey. We actually had to kick him out of a car yesterday, Jen, didn't we? He's about 6'5". You're about, what are you, 5'2", something like that? And you kicked him out of a... He got into the wrong transport from the venue, and we had to extract him. He was very polite, though, wasn't he? Very polite, yeah. I felt a bit bad. The world leader had to remove himself from a bit of transport, but anyway, see it again here. Pretty close, just with his heels, wasn't it? Knocked it off.
Yeah, he was a bit frustrated though. You could actually see, you know, he kind of did a bit of a mannerism, thinking, you know, I thought I was over it, but yeah, he'll have to have another attempt at that.
So the national record holder of Puerto Rico, Luis Castro, going for a new lifetime best here. It's his second attempt at 2.28 meters. Oh, that's close as well. That's 2 in a row. He was telling everyone to calm down after his first attempt. That was closer still.
Yeah, he knows it, doesn't he? And again, he's looking at the screen, he's waiting for the replay. He's trying to get some instant feedback for himself. He's obviously a student of the sport. He wants to know, what did I do? Where did I actually plant my foot? What hit it? And he looks and, you know, he's given a few signals, a few minor adjustments. That's all it takes to get over this bar. He knows he's in great shape. First time clearance is up to 2.28.
Our superb replay team and the trucks outside here, the likes of Mark and Charles and Grant, giving him what he needed there, that is for sure. He got it on the big screen here, and he immediately turned around to his coach in the stand and showed him some sort of hand signal, which meant he knew what was wrong. Rivera of Mexico, 2.28 meters here, second attempt. This would be a season's best. Again, it's not close. His run-up doesn't convince. He just seems to be a little bit, I don't know, as he approaches the bed, he just seems to go to very short, sort of snappy strides, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's looking again at his coach. He's done this every single jump. He's walked over. His coach is trying to give him some information, but it just doesn't look like it's working for him here this evening.
Of course, everybody does things differently. We're seeing athletes approaching from different sides. They bear different takeoff legs and things, but just a choppy stride, isn't it, from Rivera as he approaches the bed. He's only got one attempt left at that height. Wang, 2:28. He's got 2 left. The man from Beijing, as we say, Nanjing will host the World Indoors, which will, all being well, have Naoto Tobe in it. He's already won the title here, which means that he will be going as a wild card. And Wang, again, that isn't close for Wang, so he has got plenty to think about for his final attempt as well. 4th meeting of his little European tour, as well, as we say, before he heads back. And again, no global championships for these athletes. I mean, he's knocked that off with his leading arm, isn't he?
Yeah, it wasn't a good clearance. You know, he didn't look like he was going to clear that one. Interesting that he has come on, you know, had an extensive indoor season over in Europe, though. I think a lot of the high jumpers, sometimes they do need to actually compete. They're working really, really hard. And it's such a technical event, the high jump. So to be able to compete in, you know, successive weekends is really, really important.
Jabilko going for the extra rhythmical clap there, not just the slow hand clap. He wants them at it full throttle. Here he goes. 2:28, second attempt for the European champion. And again, no one's particular, apart from Castro Rivera, who would be setting a PB. Nobody else who's cleared this before has actually looked that close.
No, this is normally run-of-the-mill for a lot of these athletes. They've all got season's bests, you know, in advance of 2:28. So, yeah, this just seems to be the one that's going to decide those finish positions.
So at the moment, Jabilko, as he's knocked that off with his the middle part of his back, hasn't he, as he's gone over that one, so he will come back for a 3rd attempt. So at the moment, no one clear at 2:28. The leaders at the moment on countback, 3-way tie between Castro of Puerto Rico, Wang and Jabilko. Tobe, this man, is currently in 5th position overall, but this will put him in the lead if he can clear 2:28 at the 2nd attempt. Winner in Karlsruhe, form on German soil earlier on in the month. What's he got here in Dusseldorf? There we go. Doesn't let us down this time. What's the panic about, says Naoto.
He liked that, didn't he? And the crowd liked that. At least it shows, you know, 2:28, you know, it can be done. So, yeah, hopefully he's got that off his back now and he can just go and make some adjustments. Of course, he has jumped in advance of that on every single competition that he's done so far this year. Actually entered the competition quite early at 2:20. I think sometimes when you do a kind of, you know, a height that's really within you, sometimes it does just make you a little bit shaky when you start knocking those bars off, and maybe you start trying a little bit harder. But, you know, he's clear at 2:28, the first one of the evening to do that.
Crunch time for Puerto Rico's Luis Castro Rivera. Has to clear this to stay in the comp. Oh, it's close again. He's fractions away from a new lifetime best, is Luis Castro Rivera. He's out though at 2:28, but his clearance of 2:25 has him in a share of 2nd place currently behind Tobe. He's got the gear, he's got the moves. It nearly went wrong. He nearly fell off the bed.
He's entertained us all evening, hasn't he? He's been great. I think his facial expressions just show us that he's really enjoying his sport. He loves being here. He's an entertainer. High jumpers are, they're so charismatic, you know. You've got to have that sort of personality. And again, yeah, he did. He was very, very fortunate there.
Always check how close you are to the edge of the bed before doing reverse somersaults. That would be my motto in life, amongst others. So Rivera, he's certainly got the shoulders. Maybe that's what he's pointing to. That's something he's got to improve. He's not just showing off his muscle, I don't think. That's a technical aspect as he attempts 2:28 as well. The 5-time champion of Mexico. Had to take the silver this year with a clearance of 2:26. This is 2:28. Oh, he got a lot of height, didn't he? He got a lot of spring, but again, not so much propulsion across the bar.
Yeah, he's definitely got springs in those legs. I was watching the live footage there, and yeah, he definitely had the height, but just didn't travel across the bar.
You see it again here, he gets very, very high, doesn't he? And then it just sort of died on him, didn't he? Came down on it. So it looked higher from the other angle, actually, rather than that one. Didn't look that high second time round, in fact.
That was definitely his best clearance, best attempt at clearing it, definitely.
So Wang, after 3 successive clearances through to 2:25, all of a sudden now he has got a crucial attempt coming up here at 2 meters and 28 to stay in the competition. Well, they've pulled it out of the fire. His previous two were not close. That one didn't graze it.
Yeah, very like Toby. I think as the heights are increasing now, they're progressing. He looks, you know, he looks like he's going to maybe even make the next height. That was a good clearance.
Well, our numbers in Asia, our viewing numbers, when they get wind of Tobey and Wang having a bit of an Asian battle here between Japan and China. This man, though, wants something to say about that for sure. Jabilko to stay alive. Only two are clear so far at this height. And it stays at 2. It's not the European Champions Day here. He exits with a clearance of 2 meters and 25, which puts him in a share for third place with Castro. So it is Japan against China for the win, Wang against Tobey. So we see Jabilko, and again, he'll know that's not close. Frustrating for the man from Leverkusen.
He really attacked that, didn't he? He seemed to go in with a lot more speed, a lot more propulsion, but yeah, unfortunately, couldn't clear it here this evening.
So the bar will move up to 2 meters and 31 now, which would equal not only the season's best, but also the lifetime best indoors of that man, Wang, which is what he produced in Karlsruhe. So these two are definitely taking a liking to German high jump competitions on this IAAF World Indoor Tour. The jump from Tobey, by the way, in Karlsruhe of 2:35 put him third on the all-time Asian list. The problem he's got at the top of that list is Mutaz Bashi with 2 meters 41.
Significant, isn't it?
Yeah.
2:41.
So for Tobey to get close to that, he's going to have to improve a long way. But Tobey at the moment, on countback, has the lead from Wang. Wang has 2:28 as well, and Castro Rivera 2:25 out of the competition. Of course, what this isn't doing is helping the men's 60 meters hurdlers who are waiting for their final, which has got to be, it's going to be some express clearing up for the superb team here in the arena to get the high jump bed out, swung round and out of the way quickly, and the hurdles laid out for that men's 60 meter hurdles final, which is our concluding track event. A reminder who's in that, by the way. The heats felt like they were last month. They were that long ago. Balnavite, Traber, Pozzi, Ortega, Crittenden, Mallet, Trajkovic, Constantino will be the lineup for that final. Jarrett Eaton disqualified, remember, after a full start. Ortega was initially shown a red card, then was reinstated and took his place in the final. So 2 high jumpers left. Still over a minute on the jump clock for Wang, just out the corner of the shot. There he is. And again, they are centre arena, these two. This is a great spectacle for the high jump. We've often seen some of the field events move to some great locations, and we Zurich Central Station and out into the street and things, but it's great to have the focus of the arena here. Wang 2:31. Yes, Wang is finding his form all of a sudden. At 2:28, it looked like it wasn't going to be his night, but Wang has equalled his lifetime best with a first-time clearance.
And the first-time clearance, like you said, Chris, he's just really come into his own now in this competition. Equalled that height that he did in Karlsruhe earlier this month, and just saw Tobey there in the background, you know, give him a little bit of a celebratory clap. So, yeah, game on.
Yeah, nice to see, and Jabilko in the background as well, giving him a bit of a clap too. So good to see. As we've mentioned in the pole vault, that's the one event that does get a lot of media, I guess, for the camaraderie between competitors. It's good to see these two as well enjoying each other's competition here. So Naoto Tobey, the title winner. Can he follow Wang over? Wang certainly laid a marker down there with that first-time clearance. Not to be for Tobey, who goes cartwheeling off the bed on the far side. So advantage Wang so far, who can put his what looks like some sort of ski jacket on. It's not that cold here in Dusseldorf.
It's actually pretty warm in the arena. Yeah, just going back to that jump there by Tobey, it was just a little bit flat over the bar, really. He just, you know, came in with his real nice rhythmical style, but yeah, just a little bit flat, peaked a little bit too early there.
Student at the University of Sugupa is Tobey. Actually has a long jump personal best of 7 meters 52, going back to 2012. So I mean, that's more than useful, isn't it?
Not bad at all.
Not bad for someone who doesn't do it. I'm just thinking how he would look springing down the long jump runway, because he certainly looks like he's more built for the high jump than the long jump. Put it that way. Although those long limbs, I'm sure, can propel you along the sand as well. Taking a bit of advice here from Donald Thomas. Tobey's... thanks, Donald. Cheers. Cheers, Donald.
He's taking it in anyway. I don't know if he's just being polite or not.
Donald's saying, just what you need to do is clear that bar. And Tobey's going, yeah, I've got it. I've got that, mate. So Wang certainly looks like he's off skiing after this anyway, but he's the coat is off. So here we go with the tactics, because Tobey has passed at 2:31. He's passed his second attempt. The bar is going up to 2:34. Because, of course, Tobey knows if he wants to go past Wang, he's got to clear the next height. So rather than waste his attempts at 2:31, waste his energy, he's going to go up to 2:34. So Wang has got the jacket off all of a sudden. And don't forget now, he's only got 2 attempts, Tobey, having already had 1 failure at 2:31. This is a bit of a game of poker here between Tobey and Wang.
It is. Tobey's had 8 attempts so far to Wang's 7, so, you know, maybe just saving his legs a little bit. He knows he's got that height in him. He's done it previously. This will be a new outright PB by 3 centimetres for Wang, so this is a bar that he will have attempted before, but never cleared it.
So, Wang of China, 6th at the World Indoor Championships, the Asian Games champion from last year, a former World University Games bronze medalist as well. 6 times the national champion of China. The bar's up at 2:34, and we're now into lifetime best territory for Wang if he can clear this. He is the current leader. No?
He just zips over, doesn't he? He's got so much spring. He almost zips over, zips off the bed, and yeah, he's got 2 more attempts.
So 2 more to come for Wang. Tobey only has 2 attempts at this. Don't forget you can only have 3 successive failures or you're out of the competition. So when you fail at one height, for example at first attempt, and then you pass, that failure is carried forward effectively to the next height. So Tobey has 2. And if both of them fail, then Wang is the winner. But Tobey already has the title in the bag. But it'll be a nice little psychological marker for Wang, I'm sure. And these two, they're going to have quite a rivalry as we turn in terms of ages. Wang 27, Tobey 26. So both, I guess, at similar levels of their career. Tobey notably less achievements on a global stage so far, but certainly an up-and-coming star. And this is 2:34 for Tobey, 1 centimetre shy of what he produced in Karlsruhe to stun that crowd. Dusseldorf is behind him, that is for sure. He's at it again, this lad. These German bounces down the tracks of celebration are becoming very familiar from Naoto Tobey. The bow, the smile, the high five, a man banging form.
Yeah, the bet paid off, didn't it? 2:34, his second best clearance ever, just 1 centimetre behind his personal best. He certainly does like these German events, and the German crowd are loving this.
So we're coming up to the best part of 3 hours live coverage already here from Dusseldorf on the IAAF World Indoor Tour as it comes to its conclusion for 2019. We've already crowned 4 of the champions earlier on today. 2 of them, don't forget, Echeverria and Samuel, were crowned in the previous meeting, or finalised in the previous meeting in Birmingham. The rest of the prizes will be given out at the conclusion of this evening's meeting. One of them will be going this man's way, Naoto Tobey, and we still have the 60-metre hurdles final to come. And we're already running about 35 minutes behind schedule. So this is bonus entertainment for you, watching wherever you are, across Europe, maybe further afield around the world, live by the IAAF YouTube channel with myself, Chris Temple, and the World and European 800-metre medalist, Jenny Meadows. This is Wang then, second attempt at 2:34. Pressure back on him now all of a sudden. And he's answered it. A lifetime best indoors for Wang of China. 2 meters and 34. Whatever you can do, Tobey, I can do too.
What a competition that we're having. After a real lacklustre start of the competition with everyone struggling to get over that 2:28 bar, we've now got 2 men clear at 2:34. And great scenes here. You know, a personal best by 3 centimetres. These guys were both over 2:31 and 2:35 respectively in Karlsruhe, and now 2 of these guys over 2:34. The bar will now be raised to 2:36, which, if someone clears it, would be a new world lead.
Well, this is a fascinating contest for sure in the men's high jump here, and I guess fitting in a way. We mentioned the fact that this has got the centre of the arena. This has got everybody looking at it. All of a sudden now, this is, as they show the replay actually on the screen of the 2 athletes embracing here as well. this has got the whole arena captivated, and I think it would have done whatever else was going on around the arena.
Definitely. The men's 1500 metres promised so much. It delivered. The men's high jump, it's been scheduled right at the end of the competition because we thought we would have something like this, and we've just got the bonus of waiting for the men's 60-metre hurdles, and we're really thinking that one's going to be a cracker and come down to the wire as well.
So, Wang, here we go. 2:34, jumping order means that he has the first attempt at 2:36, with Tobey clear first time. Wang then. His outdoor personal best, by the way, is 2:33, so that is a new outright personal best for Wang, indoors or out with 2:34. Surely not anymore. Not this time.
No, he knocked it off with his arm on his way up, really, and I'm just wondering whether he's ever attempted 2:36, having a personal best of, 2:33 outdoors. I'm pretty sure he's probably, tried to attempt 2:35, but sometimes when you're actually attempting a bar for the first time, it can be a little bit overwhelming. He didn't really get close to it on that attempt. Really, really hard to contain your emotions after you've had such a significant increase in a personal best, but, 2:34, and he's got a couple more attempts at the 2:36 bar as well.
I'm just scrolling back through, Jen, but as far as I can see, certainly going back the last 3 years or so when Wang has achieved most of the things he's achieved, he hasn't ever attempted 2 meters 36. So this is certainly new territory. This is probably his first ever attempt at 2 meters 36. Even Rojas is loving the high jump.
I've been watching her. She's got her flowers there. She's sat in the front row, and she's just really enjoying this competition.
Tobey then, first attempt for him at 2:36. Again, that's enough. There's enough there, isn't there, to give him a bit of encouragement.
That was better than Wang's attempt. I mean, obviously he's already done 2:35 just a couple of weeks ago. I wouldn't put it past one of these guys at least getting this 2:36, and I'm not sure whether the 60-metre hurdlers are appreciating this right now. They're still not sure what time they're going to be competing at, but the crowd are enjoying it.
Well, I guess one man who probably, in terms of the recovery, having not raced so often, Andrew Posey might be enjoying a bit more recovery between races, I suppose. But just to bring you up to date on Tobey, by the way, the man we're looking at there, he actually attempted 2:36 in Birmingham at the weekend in the 5th event of the IAAF World Indoor Tour, where he failed at the second attempt. You may remember in Karlsruhe, Jim, when we were sat alongside each other, he actually had 3 goes at 2:37 as well. So he has attempted these heights before. We'll have a chat with Donald there. His new...
Whatever he's been saying, he's been giving him some pretty good advice.
We were making light of Donald Thomas's experience and whatever he was passing on. I thought it was a polite nod from Tobey to say, yeah, thanks very much, Donald. You're an experienced athlete, you're a world champion. I'm listening to what you're saying, but I'm just going to carry on with whatever I've planned here. So then, back we go to Wang, having his first stab at 2 meters and 36. Attempt number 2. He's in second place. A Chinese record already. Well, it was all looking so good. And then at the last moment, he took a right instead of an up.
Very much similar to the pole vaulters, when sometimes you bail, you just don't quite feel right. Once you know that, the jump doesn't feel right, you've just got to sometimes just abort it. You could actually end up injuring yourself. So better that he did that and save his energy for his last attempt.
So, one more to go for Wang. 2:36. Tobey, 2:36 as well. A hush around the arena. Of course, the other thing is that this is an intense competition in terms of the turnaround between jumps here, because these two are really bouncing from one to the next, aren't they? There's still a minute and a half left on the jump clock for Tobey, but you can see him on the left of the shot there. And as we saw in Karlsruhe, he doesn't mess around with wasting time. He cracks on.
He does. He wasn't using the clock, was he? He was going sometimes with a whole minute left to go, and it looks like he's very much doing the same here. He's still got about 70 seconds. But he looks like he's going to go in the next 5 or 10 seconds. Here he does. He does indeed.
Second attempt, 2:36, Tobey. Again, about as much encouragement as the first one. A little bit there. So, he actually needed 3. Let's take it right back to get over 2:20 at the start of the competition, Tobey.
Unbelievable that we've actually got to the situation of 2 guys still in at 2:36. And I think he is getting a little bit tired now. He just had a little bit of a moment on the bed to regather himself. And he's just walking back now. A few thoughts going through his head, I'm sure.
A bit like Sidorova earlier on in the pole vault, who will be one of the next to be crowned as part of the presentations here. When she was in the competition. Oh, he's Rojas again. She's absolutely loving life. She would do. She's the IAAF World Indoor Tour title holder. She's the world champion indoors and out. It's all happening for her.
And it's great for those fans who get to sit near her. They probably can't believe that they're sharing this event and the evening with Roa.
Is it they can't see? She's dancing in front of them, they can't see. So here we go with Wang then. 2:36. He pulled it out at 2:28 where he needed to. Third attempt. He's already got a new Chinese indoor record. The Chinese outdoor record, by the way, is at 2:39. That's been set for about 30 years or so. But at the moment, the main focus is 2:36. Volume ramping up here in Dusseldorf. Not to be for Wang, but he's certainly delighted the crowd this evening. 2:34, lifetime best, national indoor record for Wang of China, and he takes second place. It takes some performance to beat a height like that, and credit to Tobey, he's done it again.
Yeah, Wang walking away with a personal best, a national record, 2:34, and doesn't win the competition. That actually just shows the calibre of jumping that we've got here this evening.
Certainly does. So Wang, who'd produced, we say, there's 3 comps on this little European tour, 2:30, 2:31 and 2:27. It's a noticeable improvement for him. So, is there any more left in the legs of Tobey? He's had a tough little stretch here in Europe. Lots of competitions. He's been performing very well indeed. Third attempt, 2 meters and 36 for another new Japanese record, personal best, and to confirm himself as the winner here. He's already the winner, he's already won the tour. This would be a cherry on the top for Tobey. Another fantastic competition. If you haven't got the name in your notebook already, Naoto Tobey. The Olympics next year are in his homeland of Japan. An exciting medal prospect for sure. 2:34 the winning height. Our overall IAAF World Indoor Tour winner, Naoto Tobey of Japan. But once again, a fantastic high jump competition.
Yeah, it really treated us all to it, and you can see that all the other high jumpers are congratulating them. These two just really brought it here this evening, and I think having that rivalry, you know, 2 people to really push each other on, help them get those, you know, greater heights towards the end of the competition. An absolute carnage going on in the arena now. Honestly, the hurdles are out, the high jump bed is getting packed away. I can see the 60-metre hurdlers all come in with their rucksacks on, ready to have their event presentation, and yeah, this meeting is just going to come alight again with this next event coming up, the men's 60-metre hurdles, to finish the competition here this evening. Well,
we mentioned that as we see a replay of Tobey's final attempt here, and I think all 3 were probably comparably similar, weren't they, in terms of how close he got, really close-ish, but not close enough. And as you say, Jen, in the background here, it's like the worker bees are certainly going into overdrive here. Not only have they got to clear up the high jump, but also get the hurdles out. Men's 60-metre hurdles final on the way very shortly indeed. Our final event of this, the 4th edition of the IAAF World Indoor Tour, which has taken in 6 meetings. We started in Karlsruhe, went to Torun, we went to Madrid, amongst other places, Birmingham, Boston, of course. I say we started in Karlsruhe, I've said that a couple of times. We started the European leg in Karlsruhe. Boston, of course, in the USA was the opening leg. And we conclude here in Dusseldorf. You can just get a flavour just onto the right there as we confirm the high jump results and that national record for Wang of China indoors. Castro Rivero as well with 2 meters and 25 performed well. But it's all going on in the centre of the arena as the hurdles come out, get moved to the right height. We are set. The athletes have had a long hold in the call room. Give us an idea what happens here, because I'm sure you've been in this situation before where you're expecting to start at a certain time in the arena, which means it doesn't happen. What are you doing? How much information are they giving you?
Yeah, I've been in this situation many times, sometimes because of false starts, maybe outdoors because of weather. You know, you've just really got to just think to yourself, well, everybody's in the same position. It's not just me. It can be really frustrating when you've got a certain structure to your warm-up. You know, you like to do things in a certain order. You'll know how long you're going to jog for, stretch for, you know, do your strides for. Especially the technical event as a 60-metre hurdles, they'll have to obviously clear some barriers. But yeah, we're just looking now at the final scores of the men's high jump.
So easy for Tobey in terms of that scoring card there. The 3 wins that he picked up, giving him the maximum 30 points. He takes the $20,000 and the wild card to Nanjing for next year's World Indoors. So after that long hold and the uncertainty, and the restaging, if you like, after I mean, this event was supposed to be taking place at start at 8 o'clock, I think, earlier on, maybe even earlier than that. It was supposed to take place at 7:38 was the official time. So here we are, an hour and 40 minutes later for these athletes due to the protests and things that were going on about disqualifications. Most of the crowd have stayed, 1 or 2 empty seats of people who've had to go and get the last train or something. We've got somewhere to be, work tomorrow morning, but most of the crowd here have stayed. We're going to be crowning, don't forget, the champions as well over the overall tour titles. 9 of the 11 being decided or being crowned here in Dusseldorf this evening. And it all comes down to the best part of 7 3/4 seconds for our closing action of the evening. 8 men over the 60-metre barriers. Ortega, some may say a bit fortunate to be in there, of course, having been disqualified. Whatever he said to the officials, it worked. Before we get to that, though, we have got some of the presentations, as the 60 hurdlers are quite rightly giving a bit of time to warm up and get things sorted, get their blocks set, have a couple of practices over the barriers. Tobe didn't even get time to go and mop his brow. He's back out. Tefera. There's a bit of talk about Tefera, of course, post-race on Saturday in Birmingham. They didn't really seem to celebrate that world record. I think there's 1 or 2 schools of thought. They actually didn't know how, because it didn't come up on the infield scoreboard. People were saying, well, how can you look so disappointed to run like that? Well, actually, did he know? That's the question.
I don't think he did know until he was on the back straight. He was kind of doing, you know, your normally victory lap, and then I think someone must have had a bit of a word in his ear. You saw a grin on his face, and he must have just then been given the information. And again, it's just he had the fortunate position of not having that monkey on his back, having to go for the world record.
So let's talk you through these champions being crowned. Angelika Sidorova of Russia, but an authorised neutral athlete, of course, winning the pole vault comfortably in the end. Stefanidi, her closest challenger, wasn't at the races today. And it was Sidorova with the overall title. And again, she'll be a real player for the European indoors when they come around in Glasgow at the start of March. The winning height in the end for Sidorova was 4.77 meters. She won from Kyria Kapulu. So our next to be crowned is Nathan Strother of the USA, who in a fascinating head-to-head with Pavel Maslak in the 400 meters. It all came down to the home stretch. And Strother, well, you've got to say, for someone of his relative inexperience at 23, his race management was superb.
Yeah, it was. He really executed that race incredibly well. He knows what his strength is, and it's the last half of the race. And what a great race it was, that last 50 metres with himself and Maslak coming down the home straight.
Next is the women's 800 metres, which again was set up to be a battle really between Habitam Alamu of Ethiopia and potentially Shalane Osken-Clark of Great Britain. Well, in the end, it was Alamu who, a front-running tactics as she took over early in the race. 2 minutes, .70, the winning time for Alamu, who takes the 10 points and the overall title ahead of Osken-Clark. So 3 of our winners there of the overall series. Here is Samuel Tefera, who, don't forget, was beaten this evening. Jakob Ingebrigtsen, a new World Under-20 record time, 3:36.02. But Tefera, a world record and a World Indoor Tour title in the space of a few days. Not a bad couple of days' work.
No, not been a bad week. I've had worse.
I've had a lot worse, that is for sure. I certainly haven't had anything anywhere near as good a week as Tefera. That is sure, for sure. And again now, can he reproduce outside? He's unbeaten indoors until today, don't forget. Lost his unbeaten record in his career today. Can he transfer it outdoors? Because he only finished 5th at the World Under-20s last year. And here's the man that we've just seen. Noto Tobe, Japan. 2:34, just below his previous best that he produced across in Karlsruhe. But the crowd appreciating the contest that he and Wang served up today. And Tobe, who, if you'd have been having a bet at the start of the indoor tour as to who would take the title, there'd been probably a couple of others who would have been ahead of him.
It would have been. He's just been dominant all indoor season. It's actually quite staggering to think he only came in with a personal best of 2:26. And he's done 2:29, he's done his 2:34, he's done his 2:35. And Roas just wants to join in again, you know.
She's everywhere. So we're joined on the podium by Eva Svoboda in the blue top there, who takes the women's 60 metres, but lost to Talu, who set a new personal best and world lead this evening. Rojas in the triple jump. Didn't have it all her own way this evening, but came through late with a late jump to take the lead. And Jarrett Eaton, who Mixed emotions for him. He's on the podium in the arena, and right behind him, the men's 60-metre hurdlers have just walked off to be reintroduced to the crowd. And Eaton would have expected to be in one of the centre lanes for the final, and he's not even in the lineup. Just disqualified after a full start earlier on. Certainly you can't find, we talk about athletes connecting, don't we, personalities and making themselves accessible to their fans and just, I guess, revealing a bit, not revealing in terms of details of their life, but just revealing a bit about themselves. There's no doubting what Rojas is about, is there? That is for sure. She's somebody that people will love to watch. Yeah, she's just so characteristic, isn't she? She, you know, just loves the event. She just loves the competition. And like I said, you know, she came out on that 5th round and, you know, it was a pressure jump and she found the pressure. She did what it takes and she's just really been enjoying the whole evening here ever since. Well, if it took any energy to win the women's triple jump, you wouldn't know it. She's still got plenty as Yulimar Rojas. Still lots more to come from her. 23 years of age, world champion indoors and out. So the fans have stayed right to the end. Jarrett Eaton scrawling a few autographs. If you want to learn more about athletes, by the way, Jarrett Eaton's website's well worth having a look at as well. He's got lots of charitable schemes on there. He's got a scheme at the moment with other people bringing extra pairs of spikes to help out underprivileged school children in America. He's a great example of how to do it. So this is a look back at the 60-metre hurdles heats earlier on. Jarrett Eaton there, 3rd from the left, disqualified, that slight false start, got the red card. It was just under the allowed reaction time, and Eaton, his night never got going. This is the second of those heats. Sorry, this is the rerun, I should say, rather, of Jarrett Eaton absent, as we see Crittenden coming through, and also Traber of Germany, and Andrew Pozzi, the world indoor champion, finishing strongly for 2nd. This was heat 2, a full start from Ortega in lane 3. Initially was shown the red card by the officials, and the top 2 on the rankings were all of a sudden out. But Ortega said something, and he was back in from lane 3. A sedate start, but got going in the second half of the race to take his position in the final, chased home by the likes of Aaron Mallet and Milan Čajković. To put their position in the men's 60-metre hurdles final coming up, our final event. So even though Eaton's not in this final, it is still his title. 10 points for a win, remember, means that he cannot be caught at the top of the standings. So the barriers are set, the stage is set. Here come the athletes. Germany representing in lane 1, Erik Baunleveit, their national silver medalist. We go to lane 8 next, and Gabriel Constantino, the South American record holder, indoors and out over the sprint hurdles. He goes to lane 8 as we merge towards the big guns in the middle. Gregor Traber, another of the German athletes. Germany in lanes 1 and 2 here, fresh from winning the national title in Germany here on the weekend. Milan Čajković for Cyprus. He is drawn in lane 7. 2nd in Turin, 2nd in Madrid, 3rd in Birmingham. The world and European indoor champion Andrew Pozzi, a surprise name in the lineup, back from injury, trying to prove himself to earn his place on the Great Britain team to defend his title in Glasgow on home soil. Aaron Mallet of the USA, best of 7:56 set this year. Aaron Mallet drawn in lane 6. Here he is then, a bit of drama earlier on, but he's got his place in the final. Giving up, unfortunately, his World Indoor Tour title from 2 years ago. He won this 2 years ago as well. Ortega, the Olympic silver medalist, in lane 4. And finally, Freddie Crittenden. He is loving life here this evening. Freddie Crittenden, the US athlete, 7:53, his personal best, set in Birmingham at the weekend when he finished 2nd. He goes in lane 5. So, unorthodox preparation. Who are we looking at here, Jen? Can Pozzi possibly reproduce with coming back from such a long layoff?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? I don't think he showed too much in the heats. Sat in his blocks a little bit and wasn't, you know, quite as fast as the other guys over the first few barriers. But he was really coming through towards the end. I think Ortega, Crittenden, Mallet, those are the guys we should be watching.
The final event of the 2019 IAAF World Indoor Tour is the men's 60 meters hurdles final. From the inside, Balnavite, Traba, Pozzi, Ortega, Crittenden, Mallet, Trajkovic, Constantino. Oh, and more drama. More drama. False start in Heat 1. False start in Heat 2. False start in the final.
We should have known the script by this point, shouldn't we? There are tense moments, you know. You've got 7.5 seconds to get over 5 barriers.
It's a bit of movement. Was it Trajkovic in 7? I think was wobbling a little bit, but again, looking... It looks a relatively even break. Jenny, any views?
I was looking at lane 5. I was looking at Crittenden. I'm not sure. It wasn't obvious, but yeah, I think lane 5.
Certainly a little bit of a twitch from both 5 and 7, I think. Crittenden in 5, Trajkovic in 7. Here comes the dreaded cards. Is that a yellow one? Yellow. Warning for Crittenden, so he stays in. The last thing we need to... The meters are going to run out on the lights if we have any more delays. That is for sure. So Crittenden stays alive. And we have a full complement of 8 for the second attempt of the men's 60-meter hurdles final. Does that affect Crittenden now going into the second start? Does it hand an advantage to Ortega alongside him? Still $3,000, by the way, for the winner on the night, even though Eaton's title is out of reach. Away this time they go. Crittenden in 5. Trajkovic going well on the outside. Pozzi started well as well, but now Ortega starting to come through. Ortega and Trajkovic! And it might have been Trajkovic on the near side with the dip. 7.52 the winning time. Always hard to tell when the athletes are quite far apart in the lanes, but Milan Trajkovic possibly unthought of really in terms of the major players in this race. Had he come through to nick it, or did Ortega hang on?
It was close, wasn't it? Like you say, you know, we're looking at lane 4 versus lane 7. Trajkovic was definitely coming through towards the end. Or looking at Ortega, I think he thought he took it. So obviously the athletes sometimes themselves know, they can tell who's actually taking it. And yeah, he's been given the win.
Given the same time, Ortega 7.52 and Trajkovic 7.52. Well, Pozzi actually got a pretty good start there. This is where Ortega starts to come through. Keep an eye on Trajkovic on this near side, because here you're thinking he's got it right on the lean. I mean, that is close, isn't it? I think the camera angle probably affecting my mind in terms of Trajkovic taking it. But well executed in the end, and Ortega takes the win.
Yeah, and they've done so well, you know, like you say, to be delayed by almost 2 hours, to be able to still come out and run 7.52 seconds. And actually it was a season's best for Trajkovic and only 1/100th of a second away from his personal best. So it's certainly delivered. 7.52 seconds, Ortega taking the win.
Well, that is how close it was there. I mean, that is an inch on the chest, isn't it? From Ortega nearest the camera in the white vest and the reverse angle that we were looking at when they came through the first time. So very, very close indeed. Good performance from Milan Trajkovic. And again, heading to the European indoors, I think that will give him a bit of confidence as well. But it is Ortega who takes the win despite the earlier drama. And the 10 points go his way. And the prize money on the evening as well. Andrew Pozzi, by the way, 7.67, as we just confirmed the full result for you. So an improvement on his performance in the heat, Andrew Pozzi, and Great Britain selectors waiting to see if he's declaring his fitness. That would be certainly a step in the right direction for him as he attempts to defend that title in Glasgow. And for completeness, let's just show you how the men's 60-metre hurdles overall tour standings end up. Those 10 points for Ortega just narrow the gap to Eaton at the top, but he's already received his prize. Disappointing night personally for Eaton, but he is the overall tour title winner. So there he is, Orlando Ortega. celebrating his victory. So let's take you right back to the start of the evening, shall we? Christina Schwanitz giving the home fans something to shout about with our first event of this evening, 1914, her winning put. In the women's pole vault, well, it was Stefanidi against Sidorova for the overall title. It was a meeting record of 4.77 as Sidorova took the overall tour title win and the victory here in Dusseldorf this evening too. In the triple jump, well, Yulimar Rojas had 3 successive fouls, but she produced when she needed to. 14 metres and 46, her winning jump as the world champion indoors and out. Landed the spoils in the triple, and she loved it as well. The 60 metres women, well, it was the unbeaten Eva Svoboda who was upstaged by Marie-Josée Tarlou, a world lead of 7.02, a lifetime best indoors as well. And Tarlou producing when it mattered. Svoboda taking the overall title, but Tarlou in scintillating form this evening, as you can see what it meant to her as well, taking 300ths off her previous best. The men's 400 metres, well, it was these two shooting it out. Strother and Maslach for the title, and Nathan Strother, the 23-year-old from the USA, came through to take it from the experienced Maslach. Strother, very consistent performances across the tour. Men's high jump, an all-Asian battle, but it went the way of Naoto Tobe, again with a meeting record of 2 metres and 34, producing in Germany once again after his efforts in Karlsruhe. He's certainly become a name to be watching out for, that's for sure. Just edging out Wang of China, who set a new Chinese indoor record and lifetime best in finishing in 2nd place. Women's 800 metres, well, Alemu of Ethiopia, the national record holder, was the favourite. Oscan Clark, in the end, had no answers for Great Britain. It was Alemu just outside the 2-minute mark who came through to take the overall title in the women's 800 metres. The men's 1500 metres was what they were all talking about, and Jakob Ingebrigtsen got the better of the new world indoor record holder Samuel Tafira coming up to the line. A world under-20 record for Ingebrigtsen, 3:36.02, a PB2 for his brother Philip. And the men's 60-metre hurdles, our final event of the evening. After plenty of drama in the heats and with full starts, it went the way of Orlando Ortega, who took it same time as Trajkovic, but right on the lean. It went to Orlando Ortega. That was our final event then, after a protracted delay for the men's 60-metre hurdle, as Ortega producing when it mattered. Takes the flowers, takes the spoils, and he will be a medal force at the European Indoor Championships in Glasgow at the start of March. So that is how it looks here in the hall in Dusseldorf. Jen, we've got a little bit of time very quickly just to wrap up the tour. Some fantastic performances, and the matchups we were looking forward to didn't let us down. Yeah,
the high jump, I thought it was such a great battle tonight between Toby and Wang. I've really got into the men's high jump during this tour, and